Hey everyone, welcome back to B Studio, and today I'm here with a brand new video for you guys. I'm going to be giving you my review over Riverdale Season 6, Episode 3, titled Chapter 98, Mr. Cypher. And this was a really good episode. I enjoyed it. It entertained me all the way through. Only thing I didn't like was Kevin's story, but I'll talk about that later. But I thought Veronica and Reggie's storyline was great. Betty's story was great. Like I said, pretty much I like the devil, like Lou Cypher. I thought he did a good job. The actor, I'm assuming he'll be back, but okay. So Lou Cypher, Lucifer. I mean, I think we kind of all got it. I mean, I actually didn't get it until Veronica said it, or was it Veronica? I'm pretty sure it was. But yeah, he did a good job at being the devil. I'm wasn't I don't know. I mean, when I think the devil, I think of something more scarier. But of course, they showed like the images of like actual like the devil, like the creepy creature. So I guess that was supposed to scare like Tabitha and Betty when it like showed up on the screen. But okay, so uh, the devil comes over, gives Pops a heart attack. So he lands in the hospital. So it turns out that Tabitha's great grandfather, aka Pop's father, was not a successful businessman, so he gave his soul and so he sold him his soul in exchange for Pop's. Um, so then this is so confusing. I'm sorry, but then Pop gave his soul up to save his father. So, but now the devil will offer to release Pop's soul, but he wants the chocolate shop. The devil wants the chocolate shop. So Tabitha will have to hand it over. But Pop does not want that. He says that he would rather keep his soul than give up Riverdale's soul, which just shows how strong Pop is. Like, I'm loving that he's back. I just think he's such a kind person that Riverdale needs. I mean, Pop and Tabitha make the dynamic duo. I'll get back to them later. So Veronica and Reggie are opening up their casino, and Alice thinks it's so sketchy, and she's just sniffing out evil, pretty much. So then he goes up to Kevin and offers him a shot at Broadway if he sells his soul. And yeah. Kevin agrees without any hesitation. He sings a number. I don't even know what it was, but yeah, Kevin, what is wrong with you? You literally sold your sanity to the devil because you wanted to be on Broadway, because you only care of fame. I mean, I get you haven't had development, but it's just like Jughead story I'll talk about in a bit, but just bothering me. Kevin deserves so much better, honestly. But yeah, so Kevin sold his soul to the devil, and that's where he's at right now. Pretty much, and then the devil tells Veronica that he's looking for a soul because he's also hanging around at the casino. Turns out that he's looking for Reggie's soul, and Reggie wants Veronica to help him take care of the devil so they can get him out. So then Veronica's like, I'll give a new soul to you. I'll give you Nick St. Clair's soul. Why is Nick St. Clair back? Like, Jesus. Okay. So yeah, Nick St. Clair's back. Here's the good news. He's dead. Veronica tricked him into giving his soul to the devil, and Nick St. Clair dies. So, he's gone, and Veronica thinks that she saved Reggie, but no. The devil informs her that it wasn't Reggie's soul he was after in the first place, it was hers. Guess what? Reggie never sold his soul. He was gonna sell Veronica's soul. Reggie, you flat out sold Veronica's soul out? For your own? Wait. So you gave up your girlfriend's soul because you didn't want to give your soul to the devil. That's not the Reggie we know. The Reggie we know gave everything to Veronica to the point where it was selfish of her. What happened? This is not the Reggie that we know. Veronica had every right to throw that vase at him and to demand him to get out. And that fact he was like, I'm sorry, forgive me. You can't forgive someone for selling their soul to the devil for you. You just can't forgive that. And the fact that he slipped the contract in paperwork, it's just not right. There's so much tricking going on here with like why do it's illegal to trick someone to slip a contract into like a bunch of paperwork. It's illegal to do that. If it's not valid paperwork, you can't do that. So now the devil says, now we need a new person, the next person, and so Veronica can save her soul. Now she's gonna hand over Alice. But before we get to that, let's talk about Betty for a second. So TBK is back, and he's been talking to Betty in the room, and pretty much Betty needs to know who it is. But first, she finds out that so then he kind of like summons Hal and Polly, and only to throw Betty over the edge even more to show that her family members are in hell because this is the devil apparently talking to her. So then she stabs the TBK repeatedly and reveals the mask, so it's Glenn. Glenn's TBK? Wait, no. Turns out the devil hired Glenn to come in and wear the mask. So real TBK is still out there, but Betty has already murdered Glenn. So, and then we find out that Glenn, so she hid Glenn under her house. So it's like the Telltale Heart moment, which is actually a great story. So will this come back to bite her? Who knows? But we know that the devil's gonna be sticking around, so I imagine something will come back out of it. But also TBK and Riverdale could be different from Riverdale. Glenn could still be in Riverdale, is the thing. Like I keep forgetting that we're in an alternate universe, but let's move on to Jughead. So he wants to interview the devil so he can get fame back because apparently he's been struggling with his book. So he gets two conditions. Either he publishes the chat, like their interview, gets the fame, but he can never write again, or he hears the interview, but he can't write about it, but he'll still be able to write. He can still write. His creative juices will be flowing or something like that. And Jughead says that he'll make his choice after he hears the story. Apparently, the story is really good. We don't know much about it, but Jughead is an idiot and chooses to publish the story, receiving only fame. Everyone's freaking out about it. Even his former agent wants to pick him back up as a client and wants to know what he's writing next. But he can't write. His typewriter is now broken because remember, he chose to get fame. He chose fame over his sanity, and so when he was freaking out about it, he now gives his soul to the devil so he can write again. He's like, I'm a writer. Like, there's nothing else to me except a writer, which just shows how lame he is and how Jughead annoyed me so much this episode. Like, I mean, I understand. I guess his storyline wrapped up good by the end to show that he's now gonna have to deal with this. But this is also Riverdale, so will these consequences drag into Riverdale? Who knows? Let's talk about Tabitha and Pop again. So pretty much, Pop's still in the hospital, and Tabitha's still trying to decide what she wants to do. And then this person, who's I guess a big fan of Pop, Raphael, comes by and gives her a vial. It's I guess the Virgin Mary from the crucifixion, like tears from it. So then Tabitha sneaks them into a milkshake, and they pretty much they finalize the deal for Pop's soul to be released for the chocolate shop. However, once the devil takes a few sips of the milkshake, he starts throwing up, and they kick him out of the diner. And yeah, that was a fun team up. I'm glad they got rid of the devil. Of course, he'll be back. But so Pop's soul is released, so he has his sanity back, and they get to keep the chocolate shop. So it is a win-win situation, and I'm glad I love Pop. I love Pop and Tabitha teaming up. I think that's great. Okay, so kind of getting back to Veronica to wrap things up. She pretty much decides to save Alice's soul, which good thing, because we don't need Alice to sell her soul. She's already had so much things messed up in her life. I did like the Veronica and Alice back and forth. I kind of wish maybe the episode was just that instead of bringing in the Reggie stuff too. Like, we could have gotten way more of that, but So then she performs one last musical number, Marry Me or something like that. I don't exactly remember, but it was pretty well done. I'm like, why is she performing again? But she still did a good job at the casino. So pretty much she makes a new deal in order to save her soul. Because remember, besides Nick Sinclair, he hasn't get she hasn't given him any souls. She decides that every week for the rest of her life, she is going to give a lost soul from the casino to the devil. And guess who the first person is? Reggie. She sends Reggie to hell. And that's the end. Um, tricks him into signing the contract with a liquor delivery. So pretty much by the end, they're both manipulators and they're both liars, which just shows this relationship is toxic. But I don't want it to be because I ship them. That's the hard thing. Like, so they pretty much sold each other's souls to the devil, except Reggie's the one that lost by the end. So how can they come back from that is the thing. I mean, it's good it's in Riverdale, but which I guess is the point. Like, but I'm like, but aren't isn't there supposed to be consequences to these things into Riverdale? Like when we get back into it, I don't know. But overall, again, very entertaining episode. I like the devil. I think he did a good job. Jughead's story, man. Kevin's story, no. But Betty's story was pretty good. I mean, I do kind of wish we could move on from the serial killer genes idea. I guess we're moving into the good versus evil for everything, which is interesting because I think it does need to be addressed. Okay, that's kind of it. Overall, I give this episode a really high score. I mean, I might give it up to an A minus or an A because this is the best episode probably since the Pussycats episode last season, which is really saying something. So comment down below your thoughts on this episode. So thanks everyone for watching Would Be Studio. Like, comment, subscribe, and bye everyone.